or seeing all the religious artifacts and heritage, the sculptures of Santiago, and that includes the credential, of course. Having people love to have their their credential stamped. But for me, also being such a lover of Galicia, the fact that the Camino runs through Galicia gives me a lot of pride. That because I love to show people things on the Camino. Not just heritage. It might be to do with the wildlife and its beauty, and of course food and drink. And the Camino, of course, then takes you to Santiago de Compostela. It takes you to the cathedral. It takes you to Plaza Obradoiro. Takes you into the heart of the old town of Santiago. These are most amazing things, amazing experience. The most amazing things you've ever seen for me. And then, but it doesn't end there, because then there's an amazing journey. I'm surprised that more people don't do it, but because whenever I've been on the Camino to Murcia, I normally walk via Finisterre, so I get to the Cape first and then on to Murcia. And it's a Camino, it's so beautiful, like the Camino de Invierno, but there's relatively few people actually do it. So it's just an amazing experience that actually all Caminos go to Santiago de Compostela, which is, a World Heritage, UNESCO heritage site, and the whole of Old Town is a heritage site, as a number of the Caminos themselves are, the French way, primitive way, the ancient way, and the northern way. And yet you go through all of that, and you can come out the other side and carry on your Camino, which is such a beautiful walk to the end of the world, and then on to Murcia. So they're all, for me, equally amazing.
That's amazing. Last question. Why the Camino is so important to you?
Well, I think it's taught me one of the life's lessons. Because I always say to pilgrims, it's for each pilgrim to choose the way they want to do their Camino. So there's no rights or wrongs in this, and it's all about having a good positive attitude and not being judgmental. Obviously there's a lot of walking or cycling involved. So one of my life lessons was that, when I first had to take a group on the Camino, I was thinking, God, I have to walk 111 kilometers from Sarria. Will I be able to do it? I was a bit worried. I was actually privileged in that I always enjoyed walking. But even for me, I was thinking, can I do it? In other words, there's something inside of us that, often we put obstacles in the way of ourselves as to why we can't do something. Sometimes we might have reason. I'm one of those type of persons that does like to reason, likes to analyse, look at the advantages and disadvantages, before, weighing things before making a decision, making a balanced decision. But it's easy for the negative thoughts to put the obstacles in the way, and you think, well, I can't do that. That's beyond my physical capability. So I think the lessons of the Camino is that you can do away with. There isn't any barriers. People really don't have any limitations. Whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve. So you say, some people I've walked with have told me they've never walked more than 5 kilometers in their life, and there they are on the Camino, and they've done it. they've walked 20 kilometers a day and they've managed to complete a Camino, which is an amazing achievement. And how have they been able to do it? It's because they've been able to adopt a positive attitude. No, they've been able to push themselves. They've had the support from fellow pilgrims, the great, community of pilgrims that they meet. The friendships. They may have done it for a reason, of course. Maybe they're paying homage to someone, a loved one, or they may have their own God. I have my God that gives me a lot of strength and faith in what I'm doing. That's one of my life's lessons, is that maybe before I was thinking that there's a limit. I can only walk 20 kilometers a day, but I don't think like that anymore. I think that some days, I can walk longer if necessary, or less. I can walk. I can follow the yellow arrows, or I don't need to follow them. It's all about the adventure as well of the Camino. It's of having a great experiences of meeting people, local people, pilgrims. That's one of the great lessons I've taken.
So we already finished, Mark. I hope you enjoyed. For me, was a pleasure to have you here and to have these. You was one of the few persons that was able to get me emotional. I'm crying right now, but I will tell you why. I will tell you why later.
Crying? So don't tell me Don't tell me Porto have just won a.
No, don't worry. Porto has not won anything. That's tomorrow, and I hope they lose
You're
it.
crying
And I
joy.
hope they will lose it. They lose it. But anyway, thank you so much. I will explain you after this.
Well, it's been a great pleasure.
For me too.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much.